Alright students, now let's start the next part of classification of acid and bases. Alright, the next part of classification, that is fourth part, is depending upon strength of acid and strength of base. Alright, now what is the strength of an acid and base depend upon? That means strength of an acid and base will be depending upon its degree of dissociation. Now, what do we understand by degree of dissociation? Right? Understand this thing very carefully. Degree of dissociation means what? That it is the amount of molecules which we have dissolved in water, and out of that molecule, how much molecule have dissociated into its respective ions. Alright, let's take an example. So, for an example, if I am taking an acid A and that acid dissociates into the acid I am taking it as AH, and that dissociates into A minus and H plus. This is an acid. Now, I am taking 100 molecule of this AH. I am taking 100 molecule of this AH. Now, out of this, if I find that 70 molecules dissociates into ions, so 70 molecules dissociate as A plus plus H minus. That means 70 A plus ion and 70 H minus ions. So what happens? 30 will be in the form of molecule like AH. So this ratio is called degree of dissociation. The ratio of, so alpha is degree of dissociation, that is the ratio of number of molecules dissociated into ions, and that is divided by total number of molecules dissolved in water. So this is called degree of dissociation. So if any molecule, whether it is acid or base, it is having more degree of dissociation, that means out of 100 molecules, if it is dissociating more than 30%, we consider it under the category of strong acid or base, and if it is dissociating less than 30%, we consider it as a weak acid or a weak base. Alright, so now let's take the example of the strong acid, strong base, and weak acid, weak base, depending upon the degree of dissociation. Alright, so I am taking the example as strong acid. All mineral acid that are inorganic acid, mineral acids or inorganic acid, are the example of strong acid, right? Like HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, etc. And strong base are alkali. Alkali are the bases which are highly water soluble. All alkali are the bases only, but they are highly water soluble. So these alkalis are strong base like NaOH, KOH, CaOH twice. Right? These are the examples of strong base. Now similarly, if I take the example of weak acid. Now, when I take a weak acid, all organic acids comes under weak acid. Organic acids. For example, acetic acid. If I take acetic acid, that is CH3, COOH, or oxalic acid, that is COOH, COH. These are weak acids. Similarly, over here, I take the example of weak base. Okay, see carefully the example of weak base. This will help us when we will be preparing the salts, different types of salts. So the example are NH4OH, which is alkali, but still it is weak base. Then we are having CuOH twice. Then we are having ZnOH twice. All these are examples of weak bases. Alright, thank you.